I'm just gonna start drinking some tea.
This is mountain tea. It's from the mountains in Samos, Greece, where my mum's side of the family's on. My grandma lived in this house that we're filming, and my grandfather lived on a mountain.
What was the town called?
Voriotes.
Voriotes. High in the sky. So yes, we're in Samos. We're in Vathi, which is the central town of Samos, and there's vibes and cats everywhere. So what happened in Vathi?
What do you mean, what happened in Vathi? Oh, what do we do in Vathi? I thought of the war in Germany. And when Germany invaded, my grandma was hiding. No. So in Vathi, we mainly did a lot of fishing, which consisted of getting nets, and with the nets we went to the port where the boats come in, the fish boats come in, and by the fish boats there's a lot of little fish, small to large-ish, that swarm around these boats, and they're just eating the algae off the boats in the wall by the port. And then what we do is we just get nets that are sizable enough, and then we just swipe our nets in the water, and we have different techniques. I like to do it really quickly. Oh, and this is also taking me back to my childhood as well, because I used to do this as a child when I used to come to Samos in summertime. It's currently winter, so it's a bit different. But yes, we did that a lot. We swiped, well, I like to swipe my net a lot when I was younger. So we're recreating that memory. But yes, so yeah, my technique was very fast. I had a net that was a bit smaller than the one that Shane had, and I went really quickly and caught fish. And then Shane kind of had a method where he would sit there, lowering the net and kind of just waiting for them to swim in. And a lot of them, he would catch one at a time, a couple at a time. It was a different method to what I am used to, so I really appreciated that method. That was really good. So we did that, and then after we caught, we did a second time today, and we caught heaps, and then we went in the streets of Vathi and we fed them to the cats, and all the cats have different little personalities. Some are very shy, some are very out there, some of them want to interact with you. For instance, today we had a cat by the port who was ginger and white and was really friendly, and was rustling in the grass, and that one was really reactive to the fish when we were giving it to it, and was very friendly. There was another one that was today that looked like my old cat Arena, and she was kind of being on guard because there was another male cat trying to fertilize her. So she was really comfortable with us, was trying to get the fish out of the bucket, but then the other cat was trying to get on her. So and we've had different instances. The last time we were fishing as well, there was a heap of cats, and they were trying to fertilize another female cat on the street, and there was heaps of them. She was hiding under the car, and she was trying to hide away from them, and it was really a whole situation. And then after that, we spontaneously found some delicious oranges, because they're in season at the moment.
Delicious with a capital D.
Delicious with a capital D. There's a lot in. We just find them everywhere. We rented a car. We drove a lot around Samos, the island, and we found heaps of oranges scattered along the roads, scattered along the mountains when we visited my grandfather's village, and there was heaps of them. So that was a cool thing. And we went to see my grandfather's, so this is my grandma's place, we went to see my grandfather's village, and he used to carry heaps of olives from a plantation and take them all the way up to the hill and all the way down every day with a donkey in the front. So it was a different time. We visited it one time, which was really nice.
Yes.
Yes, and you got to feel the vibes.
And so It's a town very high in the sky, and it has the most ancient feel of all towns. And it feels like it's in the oldest time ago. It's like everything there is like kept to an ancient time. They don't even have ATMs there. They don't even have FPOS.
No.
And so we found ourselves at a little place, which is very, very cute, that wasn't even really open. And we found a mother. Her name was Chrysanthi. She was like a grandmother.
Yes.
And she was very, very lovely. And it was very quiet there. There was no noise. There was no music. And all of a sudden, we found ourselves in this giant kind of restaurant. And she was just bashing away in the kitchen. We made some orders. We ordered some meatballs and some tea and some, what's the cheese?
Saganaki.
Saganaki. And we ordered also some moscato, which was delicious. It tasted like sultanas. And some tea. And she brought all the food out to us, and she was very lovely. And then we had no money, so we had to drive all the way back to another town to get some money and bring her some euros to pay for the food. But she was very lovely. She was like, it was like visiting grandmother.
Yeah.
She actually kind of reminds me of my grandmother. And yeah, so that was very, very nice. And there's fruit trees everywhere. There's food everywhere in this town. And it is so, there's so much character. It feels like you're in Fable. It feels like you're in a game. It's amazing. There's vibes everywhere. And yesterday we we hired a car for 2 days, and we drove around the island, and we got to see a lot of it. There's a lot of different trees here. There's a lot of vibes.
Lots of pine trees. Very similar to Melbourne, and I think a lot of Greeks have brought that influence there, because the landscape is somewhat similar to here in Samos. But yeah, there's a lot of pine trees around here, which is really nice. We like that. We like pine.
Yes, I'm drawn to the pine tree very much. But the thing about Samos is it's an island that has a shoreline, but it has incredibly high mountains. And there's one mountain that was so high, just covered with snow. It looked like silver. And I don't think anyone goes up there because it's so high and so cold. But it looks amazing. There's pictures of it. We'll put them up. And yeah, it's very, very lovely. And we went to a restaurant as well on the first and second night. We've been doing a lot of cooking, but also going to restaurants. Not as much though. We went to a dog shelter.
We did go to a dog shelter,
which is very interesting. So there's stray cats everywhere that we feed, but there's also dogs that get the strays that are reprocessed and given to our homes once they've been kind of trained.
And so I have a family member called Thoma, and his wife Brigida. She does work with the dogs, and she invited us to come along. Well, I was like, oh, I want to come. But yeah, we came along and we helped with the dogs, and just to have a look.
Got to see how it all worked. And we also had a family dinner with Tomas and Brigida, and we were overfed. And they fed us too much alcohol.
Oh my god, so much.
And we're not used to it. And they kept filling up the glass, and then they kept offering us more, and we were fed fish and drink, essentially, and we got a bit dizzy the next day. And
I made a bunt cake, lemon
bunt bunt cake,
lemon bunt cake.
Which was delicious.
Very Greek.
And yeah, we made an applesauce for it and a special type of toffee icing.
Yes, it was so good. It was a really good spread.
Yeah. It was very delicious. So we've had a short time here, but
I still want him to try moussaka though.
Moussaka, which is the eggplant lasagna.
Yes, he's tried my grandma's pasticcio, but didn't have the cream sauce on top. Moussaka, I'm not sure if it does, but yeah, pasticcio and moussaka, I want him to try again.
So yeah, Samos is a very still place. Everyone's very nice. Every place I've been to here, people are very nice and very open. They're not cold and quiet. They're just incredibly. We kind of just do random stuff, and the town folk notice that it's a little bit strange, but they don't care. They're just still nice, and yeah, it's really nice. Everyone feels motherly or fatherly, regardless of where we go. If it's a cafe or the rent-a-car place, or
it's really warm energy. Yeah, the culture here is very warm.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the mountaintops are very, very cool. The mountain towns feel different from the lower towns. They feel very, very different. They feel really, really ancient. It is literally like going back in time.
Like they even have a pottery, like a ceramic town. Like
Yes.
They make like pottery, like ceramic pottery, and they also have a lot of honey up there.
Honey as well.
Lots of honey.
Honey, pine trees,
Honey, pine
vibes,
trees.
carob trees,
Carob
which
trees
is the
as well.
chocolate. The
Yes.
what it
show
tastes
you.
like chocolate.
It's over there.
It's over there.
Carob.
Yeah. These things. This.
I have photos. But
This
yeah,
interesting
this is
thing.
what it looks like. It's kind of like chocolate, but like
Yeah. It's like tastes a bit like chocolate.
yeah.
I was just on the forest floor. I just all on the forest floor. I can pick them and eat them. But there's orange trees everywhere. Everywhere in this town. They grow fruit. They've got a clue. Everyone grows fruit. There's fig trees, orange trees, olive trees, grapevines. Everyone has a vegetable patch. The food's well priced.
Yes.
The food is really, really high quality in the supermarkets. We got a bread, which was just absolutely delicious.
Bread was good.
The brown bread, and everything we bought was delicious.
And there's a lot of Syrian, well, there used to be Syrian start off with refugees.
There's refugees on the island.
There's refugees on the island. Started off with Syrian, and then over time there's been a lot from Africa and a lot from the Middle East.
Yes, there's a lot of people escaping tribulation and ending up on the island, and I don't think they're as rejected as much so that they kind of keep coming, so some of them get to stay. So that's going to change all of the ratios of stuff. But the mountain towns are still, there's,
Culture's strong up there.
yeah, it's very strong. It's very strong.
Like when we went up to Voliotas, like we asked like Chrysanthi, and I was like talking a bit about my like grandfather who lived there. Yeah, and he lived in a little house, which is now up for sale, and it's very old and dilapidated. And then I was asking like, she was like she knew about my grandfather and was like, oh, how is he? Oh no, how's his brothers and whatever. And then she's also like, we asked some guys on the roof, and they were like, oh, like Amazonas, do you mean these Amazonas, that Amazonas? So there's a lot of like
Very
my
common last name.
common last name, and a lot of, I think my grandfather's kind of probably relatives up there on that little hill. So it's very, yeah, roots, my roots. It's all my roots here. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's been our adventures on this island, and it's been really fun. It's been really still. We're going to Rome next, and that's going to be we're going to be eating food again.
Yes.
There's always food stuff. We're either cooking food or we're eating it.
Cooked more this time.
Yes.
Because we had the facilities, we didn't have them in Istanbul.
Yeah, so we did. We kind of reverted back to the platter and pasta for dinner, and just like we make really nice pasta sauces, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun cooking.
We like cooking. It's good.
And it's delicious. So maybe like put on a few kilos, who knows?
Yeah, honestly, it could happen.
Yeah, so that could happen. But yeah, it's been really, really lovely here. It's very dreamlike, and it's very still. And
I have
we'll be back when it's warmer.
Exactly. I had the constant question to me about why you're here in winter, because Greece essentially is the place to be for summer. But we happened to end up here because I needed to be with this one, and Europe was a place to be. So, so we'll be back in summer here in Samos at some stage in the future because it's beautiful.
Yes, it will happen. This is the test run, but I think there's a quality in winter which you wouldn't get as much in summer, and I really love that up. So it's just you get to experience more of the stillness and take in more of the vibes of the land. So
That's true.
well, that probably wraps up our trip.
I think so. Touches on everything.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's been great. And adventure forth to our next destination in Rome. Until then, I guess we'll see you next time.
Yeah. See you in Rome.
So long.